Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss about third agriculture practice, that is adding manures and fertilizers. So what are manures and fertilizers? What is the need of adding them in the soil? We are going to discuss about it, okay? So we know soil contains mineral nutrients, and these nutrients are essential for the plant growth. Okay, so every year a crop is grown in a field, so the soil is never left uncultivated. Okay, due to this, soil becomes poor in mineral nutrients, so there is a need to improve the soil fertility, and for this manures and fertilizers are added in the soil. The manures and fertilizers are the substances that are added into the soil to increase soil fertility. Let's first discuss about manures. Manure is a natural substance and it is obtained by the decomposition of plant and animal waste like cow dung, urine, crop residues. And manure improves soil fertility because it adds humus to it, and it also increases the water holding capacity of the soil, and it replenishes the soil slowly but in a long lasting way. We know manure contains humus, and humus has a porous structure. Okay, porous structure means it has many tiny spaces. So these spaces trap and hold water like a sponge, and as a result the soil can store more water for a long time. So this is called increased water holding capacity. Okay, let's take an example of sandy soil. Sandy soil normally cannot hold water for long, but if we add manure, it mixes humus with sand and make it more spongy and better at holding water. And there are many types of manures. First one is compost. That I think we discussed in a previous class. Compost is made by decomposing organic waste like leaves, vegetables and dung. Second is vermicompost. So vermicompost is done with the help of earthworms. We know earthworms are friends of farmers. And second type is green manure. Crops like sun hemp or guar are grown and plugged back into the soil to increase fertility. When these crops are plugged back into the soil gets enriched with organic matter. Plants like sun hemp also forms a symbiotic relationship with rhizobium bacteria, and rhizobium bacteria helps in nitrogen fixation. Atmospheric nitrogen is fixed in the soil in a usable form. This atmospheric nitrogen is converted in the form like nitrates or nitrites that can easily be utilized or absorbed by plants. These rhizobium bacteria forms a symbiotic relationship with plants like sun hemp and help them in fixing nitrogen. Now let's talk about fertilizers. So fertilizers are chemical substances that are rich in plant nutrients such as nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And unlike manures, fertilizers are made in factories. So they are synthetic. And important examples of fertilizers are urea, ammonium sulfate, superphosphate and NPK fertilizer. NPK fertilizer means that contains all the three essential nutrients: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Nitrogen helps in leaf and stem growth, makes plants green and healthy. Phosphorus is important for root development, flower and fruit formation. And potassium improves disease resistance, strengthens stems, and helps in overall growth. Urea is rich in nitrogen, superphosphate is rich in phosphate, and another one is potash, that is rich in potassium. Okay, so when combined as NPK fertilizer, plants get a balanced supply of nutrients in one fertilizer. So it is the useful one. What are the advantages of fertilizers? Fertilizers provide nutrients quickly. Fertilizers are chemical compounds that dissolve in water and are absorbed by plants immediately. That's why they act much faster than manures, and also they allow specific nutrient supply. Like we discussed about it, urea is rich in nitrogen. Urea gives nitrogen only. Superphosphate is rich in phosphate, so it gives phosphate only. Third, fertilizers have high nutrient content. Fertilizers are concentrated sources of nutrients, so only a small amount is enough for a large area. Fourth advantage is they increase crop yield. Plants get nutrients in the right quantity and at the right time. Fertilizers help farmers grow more food. And they are easy to store, transport, and use compared to bulky manures. Okay, so we can say that fertilizers are very useful when crops need immediate nutrition. Okay, and what are the disadvantages? Excess use of fertilizers can harm soil fertility, and since they are made up of chemicals, they pollute water and environment. And fertilizer also reduces soil microorganisms. Continuous use of fertilizers reduces natural humus and beneficial microbes in soil, making it less fertile. Soil becomes acidic or alkaline, and fertilizers are expensive compared to natural manures. Now let's compare manures and fertilizers. First difference between them is manure is natural and fertilizer is chemical. Manure is made up of plant and animal waste, and fertilizer is made in factories with chemicals. If we talk about nutrients, manure has less nutrients but it improves soil quality. Fertilizers are more rich in nutrients like nitrogen, phosphate, and potassium. What is the effect on soil? Manure increases fertility long term. Fertilizers have quick effect but may damage. And last one, environment. What is the effect of manure and fertilizers on our environment? Manures are eco-friendly because they are natural, and fertilizers can cause pollution because they are made up of chemicals. Fertilizers dissolve in water and may reach ponds, rivers, or underground water, causing pollution that is also known as eutrophication. And if chemical fertilizers remain in food crops, they may harm human health when consumed. Besides manure and fertilizer, there is another method of replenishing the soil with nutrients, and it is through crop rotation. Crop rotation is the practice of growing different types of crops one after another on the same piece of land but in a planned sequence. It helps in maintaining soil fertility, and it also prevents soil from becoming deficient in particular nutrients. Now the question comes, Why is crop rotation important? It restores soil nutrients. So different crops need different nutrients. For example, leguminous crops like peas, beans, gram add nitrogen to the soil. Cereals like wheat, rice, maize use up nitrogen. And why it is so? Because leguminous crops have rhizobium bacteria, and we know the importance of rhizobium bacteria, right? Rotating these crops keeps soil nutrient balance. Second is crop rotation controls pests and diseases. If the same crop is grown continuously, pests and diseases increase because they become resistant to a crop. They know same type of crop is growing year by year. They become habitual to it, so they multiply in it. But if we change crops, it breaks their life cycle. It improves soil fertility naturally. No chemical or fertilizer is needed to improve the soil fertility. And last, we get better crop yield. Healthy soil produces better harvests. Let me write some examples of crop rotation. In one season, wheat or rice can be grown, and in next season, legume like gram, pea or soybean can be grown. Legume restores nitrogen in soil, and nitrogen is used up by wheat or rice. That's all for today. In our next class, we'll discuss about irrigation. Till then, goodbye, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thank you.